Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. We're going to pick up right where we left off, right outside the Temple of Melisandre. You've just visited, left, and having cleansed the curse from your vial of Sphinx's truth, you used it. And now we're dealing with those repercussions, so...
I mean, repercussion sounds so harsh. This sounds like I've just uncovered something incredible. Uh,
What do you do?
Potential. What do I do? Oh shit.
Yeah, because you and Anscombe and Lilith are just kind of like those two are standing there looking at you because you're kind of just looking off into the middle distance.
Uh-huh. When she comes back to herself, blinking, staring, shocked, she looks immediately to Lilith and says, I think I learned something really useful just now about the master.
Oh, how? You drank a vial
I
and then
did.
like zoned out for a minute.
The vial was a potion of Sphinx's truth, which gives the consumer a truth, a spoken truth to any question you can ask it, perceivably in all of reality. But I guess I just decided to impulsively use it just now. But I asked it what the master's greatest weakness is, and it gave me an answer.
Oh,
It's a woman, another tiefling, red-skinned, long hair. Her name is Dare Renesia. It it didn't say why she was her greatest weakness, but I know this woman is important.
the name seems to just glaze over Lilith's face with no
You haven't
impact.
heard of her,
No.
but but I think I know someone who might know more or could learn more. It's a shame we're
Okay.
not still at the Arcanium, but um,
Do we want
give
to
me a
turn
second.
around and go right back?
No, that's well. I mean, we have to come back at some point.
Okay, I was joking.
She like holds up her fingers and like I'll hold that thought, and she will think, Vicar.
In the background, as you're thinking that, you hear Lilith like to Anscombe say, "Man, this happens a lot." Um,
Yeah, yes, it does.
you say Vicar, and you hear, "Yes, Lorna."
There is someone I greatly desire information about. If you could give it to me or find it, but I'm willing to do a lot for this.
Um, well, as your patron, that is always pleasant news. What is it, or who is it, you require answers about?
There's a tiefling woman named Dare Renesia somewhere who I need to know more about.
What?
All these roles.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. There is one who I know of by that name.
You know someone
They
by
are
that name.
not. They are not a tiefling. Or rather, perhaps they choose the appearance of one. Hmm.
It feels like a pretty uncommon name. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Dare Renesia, the Inferno Empress of Unyielding Flames, sovereign of Ashen Desires and keeper of the Eternal Crucible, is a notable Ifriti within the city of Brass.
Afridi. That's quite the title. That sounds something more fiendish.
They are Ifriti, genie of the fire plane. Not only fiends can have long and ridiculous titles.
You're right, I shouldn't make assumptions. Is it wrong of me to maybe conjecture she might be the master's patron? I know she has a pact with something powerful, but I thought it was what you'd call a great old one.
That's a good question. If she is not a patron, perhaps they have some other arrangement.
Is there any way I could get more information about her? Do you have the ability to look into that?
What information are you hoping for?
Her relationship with the master, with Hale Turnworth. I want to know why she's her greatest weakness. Is there something I can exploit or damage?
Well, you could attempt to reach out to her yourself.
Well, true, but if she has Hale's best interests, then that would tip off my hand.
Information about Efreeti nobility can be hard to come by. These are the sorts of things that you would ask what we would call a gatherer, a spy. Someone who might travel to the Plane of Fire, visit the City of Brass, and ask around themselves if you're not willing to do so on your own.
I'm willing to do so.
Do you have the means, both to survive in the Plane of Fire, and also to travel to the City of Brass?
At present, it's a little bit out of my grasp, but I'm tenacious. I could learn. I know it's spell work.
Yes, it is. I will tell you what I know, which is not much, unfortunately. Dare Renesia is a genie, an Efreeti who was, at one point, enslaved herself.
Oh.
As such, it is in her best interest to never, ever allow someone to have such influence over her again. As far as getting motivations and such for her connection to Hale Turnworth, the Master, I'm afraid I can't quite read the motivations of mortals just yet.
Right. You know some. Have you ever spoken to her yourself, or is this just things that you've heard?
This is the information you learn over someone's reputation. They might find themselves, well, anyone investigating Derenesia, if they don't offend her, might find a conversation with an offer. That is the sort of thing Efreeti are known to do.
I see. Do you know if she tends to make pacts? Not that I'm looking, but
I don't know.
Rather. Maybe I should have a conversation with her. But if they're friends, a more intimate relationship, then I worry that me being like, hello, can you tell me about this woman that you may or may not know? She might tell the master I'm probing and I know this much. I don't.
The master is already trying to kill you.
True.
I
I
don't
see
know
what
how much...
what you're getting at. No, I see what you're getting at, but if she knows that I know about this apparent weakness, she could preemptively try to correct this weakness or mitigate it or end it.
And
If it's the
how would you
greatest, it'd probably be.
propose, if she does have an obligation, a pact, a contract with this Efreeti, and that Efreeti is supposedly her greatest weakness, how would she end such things?
You're making sense. Honestly, I I'd be lying if I didn't admit that it would gr grant me great pleasure to know that I got under Hale's skin. For her finding out I even knew this much. I think that
This,
would make her a little worried.
as I've always said to every other mortal, do as you wish. You have the will.
I do. You don't think she's protected against sendings, do you? Dare, I mean.
There comes a point when you gain enough power that simple spells such as sendings, you could choose to receive them or deny them.
Right, she wouldn't have to protect herself from it. She would just be like, ugh, blocked. Oh, okay. Am I gonna message an Ifriti today? Maybe.
That is up to you.
Okay,
This was all a snowball created by your pushing with that vial, asking for information beyond your worldly means of gaining.
True.
Divination has that strange natural talent. Be careful
I
what you
just,
wish for.
I just can't really fathom why a night hag would just give this to me. Of course, it was to tempt me to drink it, right? I mean, it was cursed, so the fun part would be me suffering, but if a curse could be removed, then I only gained from it. And that
It
doesn't seem really night haggish.
It is not in my recollection for a night hag to give anyone anything without a very serious catch.
But the curse was the catch, and
Was
I
it?
removed it. Uh,
I am not certain such a vial was given to you by a night hag.
I think Lorna's, as she's just staring into the middle distance, as she does when she has internal conversations, her brows furrow, confused. But it was the night that that creature cursed Nore and fed on her, and then that vial appeared. Who else could it have been?
Are you sure that was a night hag?
I, the symptoms seemed as such. The nightmares, the draining effect on
Yes.
Nore.
And the ground is wet, so it must have rained.
Or there's moisture in the ground.
Or someone spilled. There are many reasons to create a result. You should not leap to one over another.
Well, I don't know how to feel about that. Does that mean something's following me?
Considering you have an individual with great power and money across the world who wants to kill you, yes, something or someone.
Yes, I understood the assassination attempt part of that, but vial of Sphinx's truth that's cursed doesn't fit that MO.
No, it does not. I cannot provide you information I do not have, Lorna.
I understand. I appreciate the information you have given me. In fact, could I possibly dig for a little bit more before we go?
I have all the time in the verse.
I don't know a lot about Afridi. Is there like a respectful way to approach a dare if I chose to? Is there something I should avoid doing or should definitely do?
Efreeti, like all genii, are prideful, so you should speak to them as though you are speaking to royalty. You don't know what her position is in the city of Brass, so you cannot give her an official title aside from her named one.
Can you tell me what that was again? Because she'll pull out her notebook or spellbook to start writing. Something about empress or something.
The Inferno Empress of Unyielding Flames, Sovereign of Ashen Desires, and Keeper of the Eternal Crucible.
Ashen desires and Keeper of the what? The what crucible?
The Eternal Crucible.
Thank you. That, I think... Oh man, my sending's only 25 words. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, that leaves 9 for the rest of the sending.
I think perhaps you might find it better to choose one.
Oh. You're very intelligent, Vicar.
Yes, I am.
Thank you for your help. Do I owe you anything for this information?
This is simply memories that I'm pulling from the top of my head. So, no.
Okay. Thank you. I'll hopefully turn this into gold. Or disaster.
I recommend you tread carefully, but also with boldness. A genie such as an Afridi respects confidence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Vicar falls quiet.
Confidence! She says aloud, pained.
What?
Where am I supposed to get that? Okay. Alright. Maybe we should, group back up.
Okay.
There was a...
Lilith, leans off the wall of the temple, finally!
Sorry, it's a conversation, you know?
No!
Okay. Right. Hopefully that whole thing with Lisa flying around wasn't an actual problem that will need to be solved. Because
yeah, hopefully.
This is some information that I'm desperate to use.
Okay.
Let's go.
I mean, if it's something that we can get over Hale, it's good, okay?
It is.
I want to push it too. And the two of them follow you. You head back to the Riverside Inn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you do catch Nore outside of the Riverside Inn. She has a stone bowl of something that...
I hope it's frozen cream.
Doesn't look like it.
Aww.
She, has a spoon from her mess kit in the bowl that she's lifting up to her mouth as you approach. She nods, says, Hey!
Everything all right since we've been gone?
Nore, looks up the street and then back toward the door of the inn. I think so. Tiara might just be a little bit touchy right now.
What happened?
Just a disagreement.
With townsfolk?
No, me.
You and him?
It's nothing to worry about. It won't affect anything.
Insight check.
Okay, roll insight.
Oh, really good. 27.
That just beats her 25.
Oh.
She seems guarded. She seems choosing her words carefully. But there's a slight tenseness in her jaw, slight furrow of her eyebrow. She's angry.
Lorna will look at Anscombe and Lilith and say, "Hey, can we catch up inside?"
Yeah? What
Great.
what
I'll
do
meet
you
you in there.
like?
She pats him on the ass to get going.
Okay. And so Anscombe does, and Lilith looks at you and says, "Don't touch my ass." And then she goes inside.
Lorna really briefly considers it, but doesn't want a broken finger or anything. She doesn't. And she'll look at Norre. I'm not worried about anything affecting the team, Norre. I'm worried about you as my friend.
I decided to. You may have noticed we might have been getting a little comfortable as of late.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to put a stop to it.
I see. And he didn't take it well?
I maybe not handled it as well as I could have. Didn't say the nicest of things. And
So,
I fear I might have hurt his feelings a little bit. But
so it wasn't as simple as this was nice, but I don't want to do it anymore. Maybe it got a little personal.
a little.
Is there a reason why it went into that territory? Did he do something?
Roll persuasion.
Oh, please.
I just realized my camera was like all the way over here for no reason. Okay.
Okay, I rolled bad, and I don't have anything to change that. Wait. I used my luck already. Hold on. I'm gonna see if there's anything in my features that I can potentially use to enhance this, because I rolled so fucking bad. My wink? No, that's not gonna help anything. Yeah, I just rolled bad. Yeah, I don't have anything to change that or fix it or make it better.
Norre just looks at you. Maybe not when the moon's so fresh. I'll talk to you about
Sure.
it.
All right, I understand. Are you okay?
I feel like a bitch.
Well, it's useless to say I don't think you're one, but I don't.
I can be.
When it's warranted.
You don't know what happened, so it's nice of you to say.
How about I buy you a drink later?
I'll say yes to that.
Okay. I do have. I'm sure you'll be relieved to know I do have something completely unrelated to you to talk to everyone about.
Oh, that is a relief. A distraction would be nice.
Is everyone inside, or am I missing somebody I have to go find?
Tier's... If Tier's not in there, I don't know where he is.
Well,
And I don't know where
all right.
Skulna is normally.
Okay, well, she'll kind of like nod her head to go inside, and hope that Skolna will materialize.
Norre follows you inside.
Mhm.
Continues to eat whatever it is in that bowl. And
What is it? Now that I'm closer.
You glance into it, you see like a... It's transparent, like dark brown soup broth. And you see there's various like vegetables and like a strange like green powder floating on the surface.
Matcha?
It's not matcha. It looks almost like algae.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm sure it's fine.
it smells incredibly aromatic.
Hmm.
Like the amount of onion and scallion and mint is really potent.
Fascinating. Okay, they're inside. Who does she see? I'm assuming Lilith and Anscombe.
You see Anscombe and Lilith are walking over to a table. You're only outside for a moment.
Yeah.
You see Tier is at a table that they're approaching, and they like pull out chairs to sit next to him.
How's he looking? Can I inside check him?
Inside check, Tier.
Damn, natural 1. That's a 10. She's just, she's worried about her friends.
He must be on the verge of tears.
Oh, no.
Aside from that, you don't see Skolna.
I mean, as she's walking to the table, she's just gonna say, Skolna, if you're there, please join us. And she'll keep going to the table. She doesn't pop up, she doesn't, but she might.
As you sit down, you suddenly hear the light pad of a foot stepping over a bench as Skolna sits down next to you.
Hey.
She nods.
So I got some information. She'll clap her hands together, look at everybody. About our little, and she whispers, assassination problem.
Oh, great. All right. That sounds like a good start for any conversation.
But it's in a good direction. It's not in the we're running and they're chasing direction.
Oh, that's better. All right.
It is.
And Tier twirls the stein that he was drinking from, takes a sip, and then looks over. So lay it on us.
So, do you remember that potion? Sphinx's Truth. By the
Aye.
campfire.
The one
Got
that
it
a night
uncursed.
hag's supposed to have dropped.
Got it uncursed.
Are you sure about that?
Probably. A high cleric of Melisandre did it for me.
Right.
That's a huge, great resume.
It's fine. Go ahead. Go on.
And I used it immediately, without thought. So, only good things can come from that. But
Nothing surprising there.
I asked about the Master's greatest weakness, and I got an answer. It does involve potentially parlaying with noble Ifriti in the city of Brass.
What? You see, that is generally the consensus around the table. Except Nore, who leans forward.
Does this ring a bell for you, Nore? Or are you just excited to go to hell? No, hell. The fire plane?
Oh, we're gonna go to the fire plane.
Maybe.
There are stories of individuals who wish to seal the cracks to the abyss near my home. And in doing so, they made arrangements with the Friti of the city of Brass. Only the city of Brass chewed them up and spit them out.
So they made a deal, or said they would make a deal and then didn't honor it?
They left to make a deal, and we never heard from them again.
I see.
I can't be sure as to what happened to them, aside from the fact that they're gone.
Would you be interested in pursuing that while we're there? If we go there?
These are stories from years ago.
So, how far is years?
Decades?
Decades.
Since before the Bastionworth reform, since before the Blade Maidens first settled, since before the first demons actually crested the walls of the Bleeding Ford. Long time
Why did
ago.
they feel the need to fill the cracks if there were no demons at the time?
You misunderstand. There were demons. They were trying to stop the problem before it became a problem.
But then it continued to be a problem because nothing was done about it because they disappeared.
You put the pieces together.
I manage somehow every day. Okay. We could potentially get answers. I don't. Sometimes it's nice to have closure, even if you can't do anything about it.
Sure, we can go ask if anybody remembers any travelers from the Misty Vale and see if they have anything to say.
I'm always up for options.
I didn't mean to distract. What was your plan? What were you saying?
Right. The Master's greatest weakness is an Afridi in the city of Brass.
The Master's
high-ranking
weakness is an Afridi.
Yes, somehow. In some capacity, yes.
Nori looks at the rest of the table, and Tyr just slaps his head on the desk table and says, "No problem. Aye, perfect. We'll just go push that
Listen.
one right over, and everything will be just
No,
fine.
I don't think it's a matter of defeating her or anything rash. I think maybe we can start with a conversation.
Oh, aye. That's usually the right way to do things.
Hmm.
Wait, okay. What do you know about Afriti?
They're on fire?
Roll Arcana, you
I didn't read
muppet.
about the fire flame. Well, I mean, I did, but we didn't have a session about it. Another natural one. Wow.
You don't
That's two in a
know.
row.
You don't know anything about Afriti for some
They're on
reason.
fire?
Tyr like pinches the bridge of his nose, and Norre says, "I can help." Um, so they're genie. You know what genie are?
They grant wishes.
Okay, they're creatures of pure element. So they're immortal, they're unknowable, and their personalities are almost completely tied to the element that they're native from. So Afriti are fire. They're hot-tempered,
Okay.
they're rash, they're quick to anger, but they're quick to cool. They're dangerous, but at the same time, if you prove worthy or family to them, they can be warm and welcoming and peaceful, loving. So if this isn't an Afriti that you're going to deal with, we need to figure out exactly, well, who she is, who
Right.
he is,
I'm
who they
worried.
are.
I think it's a she. She goes by the Inferno Empress of the Unyielding Flames.
She. It's a she. All right.
And my worst fear is that they have a good relationship, that either cares about the other, and then me being like, "Hey, I'm against Hale," will cause a new enemy to appear on the dragon chessboard.
Well, the genie probably wouldn't do anything about you on their own or themselves. They might find you as an amusement, but they wouldn't take direct action unless you showed up on their front door, I think.
So what I was thinking of was sending a message. That's not too forward, is it? Just hello, I'd like to talk about something.
Nori shrugs. I've never tried to send a message to a genie. Though, I guess it could be worse. You could be trying to send a message to a Dao, which is an
How is
Earth genie, and they are much worse.
Why is that much worse?
They're stubborn and bitter,
Always?
typically.
Great.
I think the only exception, like, turned into a god.
Does Lorna rack her brain? Does that sound familiar to her?
Roll a religion check.
Pen knows, but I don't know if Lorna does. She's not good with gods. Religion. 12.
You remember vaguely Dai Lo was supposed to be a Dao.
Die low, she says with confidence.
That's the one.
I did it.
So anyway,
Okay.
it's best that we're not talking to a Dao, because they just see mortals as pests.
You see, Lorna, her party sees her counting on her fingers as she's like mumbling to herself. She's putting together a message. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't do this today. I used all of my third level spells in that fish fight. Guys, we had a fish fight.
What?
Lorna relays the Kinigi Psarian.
As you're
And
talking
what happened
about the
there.
Kanigi Saurian, Nore is like listening and she says, I wish you would have asked me. I would have loved to do that.
I'm sorry. Lil was awake.
It's
I
fine.
didn't want
I
to bother
get it.
anyone.
Roll an insight check.
Oh no! Did I hurt her feelings? Shit, I'm a bad friend, Echo. 22.
Yeah, you hurt Nore's
No! Shit.
feelings.
Oh, I'm feeling real world pain for hurting a fictional character's feelings. Oh, shit.
So this is the situation where you didn't bring Shadowheart to the Shar Temple. You
Okay, forgive me for not thinking Nori would want to beat up some fish.
Sure, you're forgiven.
By you, but not by her.
No, she seems sad. She seems
Aw.
hurt.
Lorna looks really apologetic. I'm sorry I didn't think about it.
No, it's all right. It's just a tribal ritual I would have liked to see happen.
Right. Oh, Lorna just droops. About this message that I'm going to send, I can replenish. No, I couldn't even do that. No, I could. Okay, sorry. My mental thought process. I don't have enough spell slots to have a sustained conversation with this Ifriti today, so I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow. So I guess free evening?
Do whatever you want.
That's what she's saying to her group.
Oh. This seems... I don't... Okay, so... Can I just ask, you've got this name of this individual that is dangerous, but also you might have some thing or some way to leverage them as your actual enemy's weakness. So you think, because of a
I think
potion.
so. Uh-huh.
But you can't press the issue because you're out of spells.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can relax here if you're capable of it with this anxiety over your head.
She's like, of course I can relax, but she's like lightly vibrating with tension.
Yeah. Didn't you buy like a staff that lets you get a spell back or something?
Right. So I can use it to get one spell back, which means I can only send one message, which means if she replies to my first message, I can't reply again, and that might seem rude.
Maybe.
Like if I was like, "Hey, can we have a conversation?" and she's like, "Yes," and then I don't say anything else, you know, that looks bad, I feel.
I think if you say that you'd like to have a conversation, it's kind of on them to open a channel of conversation that's not just sending over and over,
right.
isn't it?
It's true. Okay. She goes back to counting her fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay. Okay. Lorna pulls her staff of replenishment out of her bag with that sound effect slide whistle where it goes beep.
Okay. You
And
do
she
that.
uses it to get back her third level so she can have ascending. Okay. I hope she's nice. And she is going to send a message to Der Renesia. And this is how it goes. The Inferno Empress of Unyielding Flames. I am Lorna Halueth. I am seeking a conversation and perhaps a deal. Would you be interested, my lady?
Okay, will you write that to me?
I did. I sent it to you.
Am I blind? Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Perhaps a deal. Okay.
Oh. That's supposed to say, would you be interested, not will you be interested.
Okay. The entire room around you seems to just glow a little quieter. And you feel a little warmer. As you send this message, please roll me a persuasion check.
Hopefully I roll better than I have been the past couple of minutes. Oh, so much better. 24.
A 24. Okay.
So much better.
Yeah. Okay. One moment. That's the wrong music. Sorry. That
It's
doesn't
fine,
make
I'm just
sense.
shaking with fear.
Okay. You hear. Ah. A bold little insect seeks my ear.
Great.
You must know, mortal, your words have little weight here. What is it you offer in return for your audacity? Speak quickly, for my patience is shorter than your life.
Bro! No, I don't have any spells!
That was much more than 25 words you received. And it did
So she
not
thinks she can respond
feel,
back.
that did not feel like a sending response. That felt like she was speaking in your ear.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Lorna is gonna she doesn't even know if this woman can see her or not, but she's gonna kind of school herself in such a way that she thinks Lily would look if she was kind of like trying to own a room, you know? Like this easy confidence. But not like arrogance, just like she's sure of herself. Can I make a
Sure.
deception roll?
As you do that, yeah, roll me a deception.
It's a lie. Please roll well. Please roll well. Okay, 23. It's a pretty good roll.
23. Okay. Sure. What do you say?
Lorna says calmly, levelly, Hail Turnworth has done me wrong, and I have it on good authority. She considers you a weakness. I'd like to exploit that.
Okay.
She
Uh,
was not as nice as I was hoping she would be.
okay. Um, hold on. I need to roll to see how she handles that.
I want you to know the roller coaster of emotions I've been on in the past 4 minutes have been crazy.
Suddenly seated next to you on the
Jeez.
bench, seeming to slip the perceptions of your allies, is a red-skinned, black-haired tiefling. This is what she looks... Nope, that's not what she looks like. Why did that happen?
I don't know, but I didn't see it.
Okay, that's good. Hold on. Okay. This is what she looks like.
Ooh. She pretty.
You see a small play of a smile on her lips, and she says, "The master is mine, mortal. She walks my path of fire and ambition. What do you hope to gain by prying? You think to twist our arrangement?" Which is amusing, but futile.
Is it? You think she can give you everything you want? Without fail? Always? Think you can't get something better?
You speak with no knowledge of what you speak of. She has her purposes. She has her ambitions, and I have my own. What are you hoping for?
I want her to die. And it's going to happen. I just figured maybe you could get something out of it besides losing.
Well, hold on. I need to consider how she would reply to that. Okay. Let me pull up my notes here. Hold on.
I also add something.
What do you add?
She adds, she calls herself the master. I was her slave once, but I'm not anymore. She'll fall too.
I will say you're very brave, but very reckless. You dare to threaten my little flame, my hail? It's fascinating. Master, a title. One that seems fitting for how she handles her subjects. Let me remind you, mortal. Hale's soul is bound to me, body and spirit. She is mine, just as the flames obey me. You seek to challenge her, but you seem to forget. Then you challenge me as well. I do admire
I'm not
your
challenging
audacity.
you.
Well,
I'm not challenging you. I'm offering you something better.
something better. And yet, do you dare to feign knowledge of our contract?
You just have to tell me what she does for you, and I'll do it better.
This is among the weakest promises I've heard from a mortal. What is it that you want from me? Why would you reach out to me? You say she thinks I'm her weakness? I know what she thinks. It is not that.
You are her weakness. Without you, she's nothing.
One might consider me her strength then, not the other way around.
No.
Unless you're saying you wish to sever her from me somehow.
That's what it takes.
And what does that look like to you, Lorna Halloweth?
I'll figure it out.
You have an offer. You have a deal. You look as though there's something you desperately want. Something you ache for.
I mean, we all want things.
We do.
There's a few. There
There's like,
has to be something you want that she can't give you.
there are many things I want. But now that I look upon you, you seek to bring peace to a spirit that clings to you, which is touching. I can offer you a way to achieve this. Better than just finding Malcolm's soul. I can bring them back. Whole, alive. together as they were in life. No need for any more endless searching. No need for prayers partially answered. I'll do this for you for a small price.
Inside check. She full of shit.
Roll an insight check.
Ooh, not great. 14. She's probably well beyond that.
I don't even need to roll.
Yeah, I'm sure her modifier is 14
You can't.
plus or
You
whatever.
can't read her.
I think Lorna would just say, "That's not what I want." I seek to bring peace to the soul tangled with mine. I don't want to bring them back. She doesn't want that either. That's not what I'm here for. I want Hale Turnworth to die. That's what we're talking about.
Do you know it takes a particularly tenacious mortal to annoy me?
At least I've left an impression.
Indeed. So you wish for my Hale to perish because
I
she
do.
has wronged you.
She has.
And yet
And
you
those
don't
I
want
love.
and yet you don't want what I can offer. So what do you want? Because I'm not going to slay nor allow harm to come to my Hale.
Then I guess I can't get anything from you. Because Hale will die, whether you're with her or without her.
Just speaking is harmless. If you attack Hale, you will suffer my wrath. So long as Hale is my patron, Hale is under my protection.
You're saying I'll suffer your wrath?
Yes.
Dare? Get in line.
She seems mildly amused. Well, in that you do impress. Or perhaps you're just too stupid to know the real threats from the fake ones.
Find out.
She smiles at you again. I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh no! My hubris! I rolled okay. 21. I'm sure her DC's crazy, but that's not a bad roll.
You are unaware that you made a wisdom save. Nothing
Okay.
happens.
Just maintaining eye contact.
Okay. Hold on. I have a note to check. Sorry. This is...
I want you to know my soul has shit its pants in this conversation.
Suddenly, the woman in front of you leans back on the bench, and you see all harshness and hostility suddenly vanishes from her eyes, and she smiles at you. Do you know how long it has been just being bored? So much time, and the only mortals about. Well, They're on Hale's side, so of course they know who I am. You know who I am, but you're not afraid of me. Or you don't. Well, you're afraid of me, but you don't act like it. I respect the courage with which you throw about what power you do have. Be aware. You are young, despite the spirit that seems to cling with centuries of time upon it on you. You are young, and you have many mistakes to make ahead of you. I look forward to seeing what you do in the future. Good luck. And she vanishes. As she vanishes, suddenly, you realize Tierra and Anscombe and Lilith have been, like, looking at you, and Anscombe's like, hey, are you good? You been talking to nothing?
Do they hear her speaking?
They don't seem like they knew what you said. They seem confused. Like,
I think when Lorna comes back and there's gone, she just kind of like puts her elbows on the table and like props her head into her hands, and she's like trembling.
hey, whoa.
Oh, whoa, that was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be.
What happened?
I sent her a message. She replied,
Okay.
she's not very nice.
I feel like I warned you of that.
No, yeah, yeah. I think she opened the conversation calling me an insect. But she said at the end that I impressed her.
Like, the whole table's just looking at you quietly, and Anscombe reaches over, and he, like, rubs you on the back, and he says, what happened? Because you just sat here, mumbling, nothing coherent, and no one could get through to you.
She stopped by to have a chat, just like I asked.
She was
and,
here?
Sure was. She, like, looks in the direction where she was sitting.
There's nothing there.
She's right there. And apparently Hale is her little fire or flame or whatever pet name she has for her, but she seems fond of her in the way an owner would a pet.
Ugh.
Yeah, and didn't take kindly to my wanting her demise. I said,
You told her you wanted to kill her?
I thought being straightforward. I didn't think, kneeling and pleading was something that was going to get me anywhere, so I just was honest. It's worked so far.
And then suddenly it didn't.
No. So the deal was off the table. She offered me something lofty and impossible to tempt me, and it's not what I wanted anyways. It's kind of what she thought I wanted. But I turned her down, and when it was clear she wasn't going to cut ties with Hale, I just said, the master's going to die anyways. So,
Wait,
sorry
okay.
for wasting her time.
So what did... Right. And she acted like she was protective? Like, going after...
Kind of. In like a this is my toy.
Oh. Across the table, Noré, who has now been, like, plucking at the strings of a lyre that she didn't have. It's like it looks like one that she picked up and is very cheap looking. But it sounds okay, and she's plucking at it. She says, well, we know she's her patron, right?
Seems to be the case, yes.
So they have a contract.
They do.
Maybe we can get Hale to break the contract.
Make Hale break the contract to the source of her strength?
If we figure out what the contract says, every contract can be broken. And it's
Lorna
not a
has,
fiendish
like,
one, right?
Kill Bill sirens at the term, like, break the contract for her own Hushen-based trauma. Yeah, I suppose it's possible. It might be easier just to kill her. I mean, it'd be great to sever her connection to her power. I'm sure she's a good fighter without
What makes you
this
say that?
Ifriti at her back. That she's a good fighter?
Yeah.
I don't. She kind of looks at Lilith and remembers, like, there's a flash of Lilith's nose being caved in.
Lilith, like, shrugs and says, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a really good fighter now. Like,
I mean, we've all improved, right?
yeah, we all have. So, if she doesn't have any magic, be a pushover.
Well, we can certainly try, right?
Is there a way to figure out what her contract is?
Maybe. I would have to pull some strings, I believe. It's an avenue we can pursue, but it's not going through the Afridi, that's for sure. Unless she finds me particularly amusing, but I'm already in a contract.
Well, what if we can find a deal for the Afriti where you just learn what the contract is? We do something for the Afriti? You know?
Do something for her to find out the terms of the contract.
Yeah. I mean, with how confident it sounds like she was at you, like, she doesn't think you're much of a threat anyway, right?
True.
So, if we maybe play an angle where we're like, look, we're not much danger anyway, tell us what the contract is, and maybe we'll consider making one with you as well, right? Like,
It's like, how many more times can I make contracts with people?
well, you don't actually make one. You just learn what it is. And then maybe we can find a loophole or a way to get her in trouble.
Maybe. I think it's a strong maybe. I need to think about everything. I need to mull it over.
Look, all I'm saying is that potion told you she's her greatest weakness. There's got to be something there, or the Sphinx potion wouldn't have said that, right?
I agree. Even dare pose the same question. Wouldn't she be the master's strength if she gives her all her power? But they're obviously no. She's useless without her, I imagine.
Right.
Useless, but not as strong.
There's got to be something there. That's all I'm saying. So
I agree with you. It's an avenue. It's just another thing to the fucking list, right?
the thing that I mostly don't like about divination magic is that it's never clear, but it's always right. Right? It never explains
You just
itself,
have to
but it's
figure out
always
how
true.
to read it,
That's
or-
the truth.
understand it. Right. Yes.
Do we know any diviners or anyone who might be able to?
Lorna kind of like slumps and sighs. I have an idea of one. He went to the Marigard with us.
Not that noble numpty that was in the wizarding classroom.
He was a divination wizard, dear. I don't know what to tell you.
I
I don't know how good he is.
don't
But
know
he
either.
graduated.
I guess
Right?
good enough. I guess if you know it's coming, you can get out of the way in time.
Maybe it doesn't lend itself to fighting, but yeah, he could be very useful, and he
He-
makes great mashed potatoes.
He's as squishy as a mashed potato. Right, I shouldn't be judging, okay? Right, he did graduate, so clearly he knew something.
Let's just table it for now. I need to mull
Tear
over my
slumps the
options.
table.
Thank you for your help.
It's tabled.
I just think we could use a night off. Doesn't that sound nice?
I'm not going to argue.
Just the rest of the table seemed to vibe with that idea.
Nore says, I could use a distraction.
Yeah, I promised you a drink.
You did. I intend to collect.
That's a bargain I can get behind. Low stakes.
The group around you seems a little uneasy, but they all try and, relax and settle. And as you do, Anscombe says, "Didn't you want to stop at the Tinker's?"
I did. Do you have anything to sell? I've been trying to think of
Oh yeah, I have
what
lots of
my
crap.
pack I can offload. Okay, well that should be useful.
I have,
Right?
let's see. And he opens his backpack and you hear a clattering of metal. I got some studded leather, a few swords, an axe, several bows, a couple crossbows in here.
Yes,
Lots
you
of
do
holy
have some
symbols.
junk.
Yeah, I've just been collecting it whenever we fight shit. So look at this weird bone mace we got from those stupid snake people. Look at this thing. And he pulls it out, and it's pretty horrible looking. It has dried
it's
blood
not
down the
magic,
side.
is it?
No.
Okay. I checked it.
It does have what looks like a stinger on the side of it, entirely for just applying venom to. Someone will buy this crap, right?
Yeah, I think we can offload some junk. But then drinking for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
A little moderate, well-paced, reasonable drinking.
Yeah. You see Anscombe, for a moment, he was, very enthused, and then he, remembered where he was. And he just
so
kind of, chills.
Mm-hmm. Very demure, very mindful.
Oh, that sounds stupid. Who says that?
Well, not all of us have to, just some of us.
No. Demure? What kind of word is that? I've never heard anybody say that.
I think he means, modest, bashful.
I hate that word. I feel like I want to punch someone who says it.
Well, she gets up quickly. Well, got some junk for me to sell? I don't think we all need to go.
There is, moments where basically some old weapons and armor are tossed onto the table, and Anscombe scoops all of them into his pack. Right. Let's I can't remember his name. Let's head over to the Tinker's.
He's a little guy. That's
Yep.
all I know. Oh, Malgrove, something like that. Hargrave?
I don't
I
know.
wrote it down. Shit, I wrote it down. Give me a second. I know this doesn't matter that much, but... whatever. I don't have it.
Okay. Alright, so you head towards, the Tinker Shop.
Mygrove. I do have it.
Mygrove?
Yes.
You see that over the top, it doesn't say Mygrove. It says Gizmos, Curios, and Contraptions.
Good name. Right on the tin.
It is... Well, it has the weathered wooden sign that swings gently in the breeze, and you see that the sign features an animated gear that clicks and whirs intermittently, glowing softly with arcane energy. And various strange objects hang from the eaves of the building, and they're all, peculiar in various ways. Wind chimes made from clock parts, a small mechanical bird that chirps every so often, and lanterns that emit different colors of light. Right now, as it's early afternoon, they're all kind of glowing this pale bluish yellow light. Though earlier in the day, they were definitely orange. So it seems as though they change based on the time of day. Anyway, let me go ahead and pull up. Okay. Well... There we go.
Ooh. Tinkery. I don't like that fucking monkey in the corner.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Scary.
You see that this tinker shop is full of chaotic yet fascinating half-finished projects and schematics and trinkets and just crap all over the place. Shelves and tables overflow with gadgets like mechanical hands, self-stirring cups, enchanted pocket watches. There are blueprints of, you see some bizarre shapes and inventions that look like they're so covered in dust they likely never got completed. And then you see there's a gnome who is standing up on a small stool, and he's reaching up to a high shelf where you see he's pushing a mechanical clockwork bird up onto it. And as you enter, he looks behind you and says, "Oh, hello. Oh, Anscombe, hello again." And Anscombe
He recognized you immediately.
Anscombe, like, blinks, and he says, "Hey, it's been a while. It's Finlow. Just call me Finlow." And Anscombe's like, "Is Mygrove around?" "No, he's out for, the day. I don't know what he's off up to. Doesn't matter. How can I help you?"
Selling things.
"Oh, you here to buy, or here to the other one?"
Well,
Right,
and
perfect.
maybe potentially we'll buy something.
Okay,
That's how much money we get. I'm a little strapped for cash.
well, let's see what you have.
Lay out all that armor shit.
Anscombe dumps out his pack. It's a lot of weapons and armor that you've collected, or that he's collected over time. Let's see.
Crap.
Okay. Skimming through it all, Finlow seems impressed by some pieces, unimpressed by others. But as he's like picking pieces up, inspecting them, looking for damage, he doesn't find any because Anscombe didn't pick up broken shit. He sets them aside and tallies it, and sets it aside and tallies it. It takes like 20 minutes as he sifts through all this shit. And in the meantime, you notice there are some notable objects that are labeled on the walls. You see there are clockwork familiars, literally tiny mechanical creatures that act as companions, spies. It seems as though they are imbued with magic, that you can use them like a familiar. Each one is 70 gold. There are arcane lockboxes that are described as... They're small, intricately designed boxes that can only be opened by speaking the proper magical passphrase. They all have a password, and they are set by the person who purchases them. They have a larger interior than they are on the outside. They are not quite as big of a bag of holding. It seems like each one can hold maybe 100 pounds of stuff. But considering how small they are, that's pretty, handy. Each one of those is 50 gold. There are mechanical hands, which can be customized with additional tools, such as grappling hooks, lock-picking kits, blades, or other things. And what they basically let you do is you attach a mechanical hand to your clothes somewhere, and they let you perform, like, the help action or and interact with an object action without using an action. They have limited use, but and they're delicate, so if they get hit, they'll probably break, but they seem versatile. You see that there is a large wall lined with thunder sticks, which are literally one-use rifles. Each one is 2 gold, and they're basically not iron.
Boomsticks.
It's they're literally like just a tube that looks like it's almost like paper mache or like this strange
And then it breaks.
fibrous material. It's one use, but each one is an explosive that shoots a projectile with the same statistics of a musket. They can also be used as improvised explosives, it seems. Anyway, he finally finishes sifting through these things, and he says, "For all this, well, these symbols are worth quite a bit. You see, you want to sell them." And Anscombe says, "Yeah, we're not going to use them." "Okay, I can give you 673 gold, 27 silver, and 8 copper for the lot."
Ooh. He looks at Anscombe like, wow, good going.
It's a lot of garbage. Or not. No, it's all very high quality goods. Why don't we just round it up to 680 gold?
Why don't we round it down to 670 gold?
I mean, we don't have to sell it here. We can sell it elsewhere.
Look at him putting on a riz.
Anscombe's gonna try and haggle.
Oh, I could add something on top of that if it helps. She's trying to give him advantage.
Okay. Roll. What do you... Okay. So you've
She
offered to sell something else.
Uh-huh.
What do you...
It's that ring I found on that gray watch. It was a mundane ring, and then in parentheses of some value.
Okay.
Bink.
Uh...
On top of the pile
The gnome
of shit.
picks up... Finlo picks up the ring, and he, like, inspects it, and you see a little lens, like, gets up really close, and he says, "This isn't magic at all."
No, but it's nice.
It's fine. It's, bronze. Not bad.
Does it have a gem in it?
It does. It's like a dark gray stone. It has some
she-
shine to it.
I was gonna say, does she know that those little clockwork familiars use gems in their builds?
They don't all seem to.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say like, but okay, fair enough.
With this, we'll round it up to 700 and call it square.
All right.
Doesn't seem like he's taking us for a ride.
Roll an insight check.
25. God, I wish I'd gotten that when I was talking to Nore.
No, it seems fair.
Seems reasonable.
Perfect.
And Finlo begins to shovel the armor and swords and just scrap off the table. And he collects all the holy symbols up and he brings those. And as he's picking up the other parts, he takes the ring in one hand and he just goes all back behind the counter. And you hear all of it clattering into an enormous wooden crate. And he says,
Right, that's for later. Okay, 700 gold pieces.
"Perfect." And he pulls open another drawer and the sound of coin
Like
is
a clunk
arranged.
clank. As he's kind of sorting out the little piles of gold, she's gonna say, those little things, she points to the familiars on the wall.
Yeah.
If I purchase one, is it something I can give to someone, or am I?
You give it a little
First-
blood, and then it understands that you're the familiar, for, the caster, quote unquote, and it follows you about. They unfortunately you can't make them disappear like you can in normal familiar, but they have a little bit more health. They're a little bit more reliable, more durable. Otherwise, they behave just like a fine familiar. So it doesn't matter who it is that pricks the finger, but once you prick your finger, that familiar thinks you're its boss.
And you can communicate with it,
Um,
verbally.
Oh yeah, it'll listen to you.
Well, I mean, and if it say it saw something and you wanted to know what it saw, could it communicate that to you, like a familiar would?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wizard. I have a familiar already, so I know.
Right,
how
I
it
saw the
works.
book. I can tell. Some of them print out a little note and tell you what they saw. A couple of them have actual opals within them, and they let you telepathically communicate with it. Those
Is that
ones are 80 gold. The printout ones are
Okay.
50 gold.
She looks at Anscombe with the biggest puppy dog eyes. Can I have 80 gold, please?
Sure. And he just gives you 80 gold.
She'll give him a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Do you have one that's a mouse?
Yeah.
One of the opal ones, the 80 gold.
He goes to the end of the shelf and he pulls down a mechanical mouse that doesn't have legs. It has wheels on the back, and he hands it to you. He says, "Here you go."
Can it climb walls like a regular mouse, or
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good, excellent.
It's just like a mouse familiar. It's just, I've called him Wheelsy, but you can call him whatever you like.
I have a name in mind.
Okay. Yeah, just
Thank you
prick,
so much.
just when you were ready to use him, you prick your finger and you tell him what to do.
She will tuck it into her bag.
Okay. You have a mechanical familiar mouse.
Uh-huh. Lorna's love language is gift giving. Okay. Is that all you wanted to do here, Inscom?
Yeah. I
Don't
mean,
have anything you want to buy?
he's like looking around the room and he's, not in particular, I don't think. Wait, do you have a bag of holding, maybe?
Oh, that would be useful with your gathering proclivity.
He like looks around the room and Finlow says, "Oh, yeah, we have plenty of those. 200 gold."
Easy.
Anscombe looks at him and says, "Come on. Old friends, you know, grew up around here."
You've never been in here before. Like, we never talked.
Well, then
Till-
how do you know his name?
Everyone here knows his name.
Okay, besides, she's like realizes the road she's going down and says, you know,
Come on, give me, you know, the natives discount, maybe? And Anscombe's gonna...
locals. Come on, buddy.
Finlow looks at him and just goes,
220 gold.
Anscombe's like, okay, all right. 200 gold,
Ooh.
fine.
Ooh.
That's what I thought.
So Anscombe passes
He did
him
his best.
200 gold. He rolled a 2 on persuasion.
Oh,
So
bud.
Finlow gives him a bag of holding. This will make things a lot easier in the future, though. Just, you know, let's not combine any of them on accident.
Yes, of course. She makes sure hers is away from his.
All right. Thanks, Finlow. Tell my Grove I said hey.
All right. Thanks for your business.
Do you have anything you want to buy?
I just bought it. She's actually really eager to get back to the group now.
Okay.
Skip.
You finish at the Tinkerers, and you make your way back out into Siren's Respite, heading back toward the Riverside Inn.
Mhm.
Your time is yours.
She goes back to the Riverside Inn.
As you enter, you see your group. Lilith and Nora are seated at the table drinking and talking. They look like they're just relaxed and having a good time. You see Tier is over at the bar counter, seated on one of the stools. He has a stein on the counter as well. And you see next to him is Mindy.
Oh no. Well, that's probably perfectly platonic, but I'm already foreseeing problems. Insight check. What's the nature of their conversation? Because I'm nosy.
Roll insight.
Oh, good. 23.
Mindy is very easy to read. She's not skilled in deception. Tier is a little harder. I'm going to roll for Tier, because he might actually succeed. Okay.
How much has he been drinking?
He's buzzed. He doesn't look wasted. It looks like there's a conversation going on between the two of them. It looks like Mindy is trying to cheer him up.
Oh.
And Tier looks embarrassed.
Oh, he probably shooted his shot, but I guess we'll see. I'll dig into that in a minute.
You can surmise whatever you want from that perspective.
That's what I surmise.
Okay.
Bro tried to get a rebound and was rejected, is my theory. But I'll unpack that later. Is Skolna visible?
She's next to you.
Oh, hey, just who I wanted to see.
She nods.
And I got to see you. Where are they? Are they right in the doorway? Because
Who?
Are we in the doorway?
Yeah, you guys have just entered the inn. You're like on the floor of the common bar.
She would kind of like nudge Skolna's elbow and just kind of gesture for a little away from the door so they're not blocking traffic, and just, I have something for you.
She blinks. What?
She walks over. Open your hands.
She looks at you suspiciously. And
Lorna just looks giddy and excited.
She slowly holds out a hand.
She's gonna reach into her bag, put the little mouse in her hands.
Skolna looks down at this mechanical mouse with its little wheels on the back and the small little feet that seem to roll like claw forward on the front. The little wire tail that's braided and coiled up. The two copper-surrounded, like, glowing opal eyes. And you see Skolna, for the first time in a long time, her face splits into a small smile.
I was thinking of calling him Recon, but obviously you can call him whatever you want. You just have to give him a little of your blood, and he's yours.
Skolna furrows her brow at the mouse and then up at you. What? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I give it blood?
He's your familiar. He'll do what you want him to do. Like, maybe poke around.
She looks surprised and confused, and then she, like, looks at the mouse and, like, turns around her hands, and she sees on the back of the mouse there's a tiny little, it looks almost like a thumbtack that was just welded onto the back of the mouse. And she just pokes it with her thumb, and almost like a split second passes where the mouse doesn't do anything, and then suddenly it's what you hear, like clockwork as the mouse turns in her hand and looks up at her, and you see Skolna, like, a glazed look on her eyes, and she blinks and she's just, oh, hi. And then she smiles wider, as clear that she got a response. And then the mouse rolls up her arm and then up into one of her vest pockets.
That's what I thought.
She looks so very confused for a moment, with a strange lopsided smile on her face. And then she looks at you and she just goes, thank you.
I saw it and I thought of you.
She doesn't seem to know what to say.
Lorna, like, realizes that words aren't her preferred terrain, her favorite terrain, so she just nods and, like, get you a drink?
Skolna nods briskly, and then, like, before you turn or anything, she just suddenly grabs you in a quick hug.
Oh, Lorna returns it. She's also thinking, man, I hope Nori gets here, because I actually made Nori feel bad today. I would really like to make that up to her, but she saw I saw those clockwork little things, and I was like, one would be perfect for Skolna. I can sneak around, just like she does.
It seems like she seems really pleased with it, and every once in a while, like when you glance over, she's like looking down at her pocket, and the mouse's face just like pokes up for a moment, and then drops back down. It's likely she's talking to the mouse.
And she can talk to it silently.
Seems like that is what's happening.
Oh, I like picture that Lorna's gonna see this mouse, if at all possible, sometimes just like around doing nosy things. Like, she's gonna get even more dangerously informed than ever before.
Probably.
I thought that would be useful for her, though.
That is what you do. Okay, Skolna liked that.
Eee.
What
Lorna
else?
likes to spend money on her friends.
Apparently.
Yeah.
What else are you intending to accomplish?
I mean, how long is Mindy lingering around here? Like, lingering. How long is their conversation? Does it seem like they're going to be seated there?
It doesn't seem like an
Indefinitely?
ongoing conversation. Like, it looks like they're talking and then stopping and drinking and relaxing and then talking. Like, it seems like they're going to be there a while.
Yeah. I think she wants to, like, be like, hey, what happened? But it feels like she's already talked to Nori about it. Pretty much right after it happened, and Nori was like, it's still fresh. I don't really want to talk about it. So she feels like, I don't know, it would be kind of shitty to go to Tierra and be like, okay, you tell me what happened after after that conversation. So I think she's gonna let that be. She's not going to
I'm
intrude on
so
that for
proud
now.
of you.
Thanks.
And character growth.
Character growth both in game and out of game.
Yeah.
So I think she's just like she's gonna mind her own fucking business for once. She's gonna get Skolna and Nori drinks just like she promised,
Okay.
and she's gonna not get plastered herself and, you know, keep an eye out for danger because maybe she pissed off at Afridi today. Who knows? It happens.
Maybe. Anscombe gets himself a cup of clava.
Oh, that's fair.
Lilith gets herself a bottle of whiskey.
Live your life.
Yep. I will say that you're taking today easy.
Hmm.
Things are slow. You've had your excitement basically with the ritual in the morning, and now after talking to an Afridi and maybe being risky, the rest of your evening you spend at the Riverside Inn, blowing off steam, cooling down, and that's where we'll call tonight's session. As we come to the end of the session, I want to thank you for playing with me, and to those of you who are watching, whether you be at home or at work, hi Pen, hi class,
And
hi
Emily,
Emily.
and class, and
We love you all, and I wish you a good night.